dating. Um,
Okay.
so we are very, and I don't want to take just the singular credit for this. We are very much involved in her life as a unit. Like
The co-parenting,
me and her
okay.
dad. Yes, we have a group text. I mean, today
Okay.
we just went on a visit with college. I
Okay.
mean, we hang out together, go to
Right. Right.
lunch, show up at her
Right.
school. I mean, we're like, a lot of times people looking at us like, so what happened? But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like we're just really good friends. And I think that's important for her to see that, because she didn't remember us being married. I had to show her pictures.
Wow.
She was 3. She didn't remember. She's like, I
So
don't remember
for the
this.
most part, her life and what her memories are is her parents were never, wow, never
Yeah.
married.
She didn't even know we were divorced until a kid at school said, "Your parents are divorced." She was like, "What is
Wow.
that?" And I remember her getting in
I,
the car and telling me like, "Mommy, are you divorced?" I was like, "Oh Lord, who told you that word?"
now and when she says that, is she, how she take that? Was it an emotional time, or was it more like just clarification, or
She
like
just
was her
wanted to
feelings
know.
hurt?
She was
Oh,
just
she's
like,
wanting to
"What is
know.
the word?" She just like, "What is that word?"
Oh wow.
Yeah, she just
That's
did. I mean, that's when
oh,
you realize like this was her norm.
right.
Like, this was her norm because she
Right.
saw us together. She didn't see us living together. She never saw that.
Right.
So she just saw like I go to my dad's, I go to my mom's. They're
And
both at my
this is my
games.
life.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is her life.
Wow.
And I
Man,
said in the book too that like I never wanted to. So you spoke about being at the games. So
mhm.
I never like sat all the way over there and he sat all the way over there. We literally sat around each other. Whether
Mhm.
he had
Mhm.
somebody, I had somebody. We never made it awkward because I didn't want her to have to search the stands like, oh yeah, okay. No,
My
she
mom
looked
would
and
have
she's
like,
like, there
yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
That was easy because she's already in a sport where she has to focus. Why would I make
Uh-huh.
it harder for her to see who's here and who's not?
Wow.
Those
Man,
are
you
little things that you can do to really take the anxiety away from your child.
okay. So, what do you advise somebody that doesn't have that connected co-parenting you just described? Let's say you got a single mom that wants that, but the dad is like, "No, no, I don't want no part of that." How would you advise somebody to try to bridge that gap? Because
Well,
you
first of
sound
all,
almost you sound almost, I ain't gonna say like a unicorn, because that's something I talk about, right? But I think we are kind of, when I listen to your story, I'm like, damn, that's kind of how I work say my children's mom's name. It's just kind of, that's all I've known. Like, we just help each other out. And now I'm like,
yeah,
okay, but that's not everybody. I mean, I got
no,
friends now. I'm like, ooh, you got a tough hand. You just got dealt somewhat
yeah, yeah.
self-inflicted. But how do you suggest people bridge that when one is over here and wanting to be, and the other was like, nah, I pay child support. That's all, I don't want to deal with you. Or, I mean, as an example.
Yeah. No, no, that's the words that came out your mouth because I coach parents
Hmm.
individually and then together because this was such I didn't even know what I was doing until I started doing it. And it was, and you know how you're doing something right. It's when people are constantly coming up to you, you're like, can you show me how you did that? And you're like, what I
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
So that's when
Like,
I felt like I was onto something. I was like, okay, I
yeah,
think we onto something. Like,
gotcha.
so when you say how do I show them, I don't even know how do you show them. I think really to be honest, you have to have a willing person. You can't
Gotcha.
force anyone.
Okay.
All you can do now, you could be an example. You could be
Right.
responsible for your own words. You can be responsible for your own actions. So,
Right.
like, I give an example. During those rough times, we would have texting battles like, "You gonna do this?" and da, 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 da. I mean, and we would, I mean, pages, and I'd be like, "What are we doing? I
Yeah.
can't even
Like,
text fast enough before I can. I wouldn't even read because I'm in my
right.
emotion."
Uh-huh.
So, I definitely would stop that type of communication.
Okay.
If you're not speaking with purpose, and that's the word I use. I remember one time I was like, if we can't speak with purpose to each other, then we shouldn't speak at all. Because
Mm.
right now we're hurting each other even more.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if this can't be a purposeful conversation, then we got to get off the phone. And someone has to be able to say, okay, I gotta go and like get off the
Mhm.
phone. I'm talking
Mhm.
stop in mid conversation. And that may mean you might not get your weekend. That may mean you
Mhm.
may have to pay a little bit more on a tuition. It may mean
Mhm.
you're going to be eating a lot of cake.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you put the child first, in the long run, it will pay out. It's
It'll
almost
pay off.
like, yeah, it's almost like just literally like when it's like being married, but in a different way. Cause there's
Uh-huh.
no 50-50.
Yeah.
You just gotta
Mm.
really like, and I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't always like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. No, I said, oh,
No, you
yeah.
talking about the co-parent at
I'm
points
talking
of
about
time. You're like,
co-parenting.
that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean literally, it was not people look at us like this is amazing. I'm like, yeah,
It wasn't
and
always like this.
I don't need to make him be the villain in order for me to look victorious. To tell my
Mm.
story, I don't need
Mm-hmm.
to make him look like, oh, he did this, and that's why I'm such the glorious parent that did this. You
Right.
know,
Right.
um, even like I let him read the book because I asked for his permission because we
Wow.
have done it's crazy. We've done panels before together where
Okay.
and it's crazy because your sister was a part of it. And so at the
Okay.
end of it, I told her my it was called the five keys in life, who you need, the type of people. And
Okay.
we talked
Hey,
about it. Yeah.
can you speak on that quickly? Just kind of
So
shit like the what?
it was like your community.
Gotcha.
You definitely needed your community. You needed the
Mm.
person that was going to make you a priority. And that means like, and that was at the time, that was your sister who used to come down from where she lived to come help be a part of my community, to
Wow.
help me build, a business. And, you know, um, and then he was in that, and it was like your partner. And
Uh-huh.
I never said who anybody was. So at the end, I made them, I pointed them out and said who they were. So of course, I left him for the last and I said, hey, and this is my ex-husband. The room
Wow.
erupted. They're like, can you please tell me how you, oh my gosh, you guys are, I'm like, yeah, it was crazy. And we both just laugh. I mean, we both crack up
Wow.
laughing like, yeah,
That's what's up, Shira. That's what's up.
yeah, yeah.
Man.
I mean, it's amazing to be able to it's almost like you write when they tell you manifest something.
Mhm.
I mean, you literally have to like see it,
Mhm.
not just write it down. You have to see yourself doing the things that you want to happen.
Mhm.
Like you
Mhm.
literally have to see yourself. So to go back to the parents that can't, are not in the place to do it. First of all, key thing, you got to be in therapy. You got to be,
Mhm.
whether you're doing a life coach, whether you're doing a therapist, because you have to see yourself in the mirror. You
Mhm.
have to. Because if you're not willing to take responsibility for your own actions, all you're going to do is blame. And blame is back here. When you blame, you're looking backwards. When you're taking responsibility, you're looking forward.
Looking forward.
If you
Man.
think about it, yeah.
No, I'm taking mental notes because I know what I'm gonna do with this episode. I got you a lot you sharing, and I appreciate that. Because I know from my time and journey and the guys and girls I come at, I mean everybody's can grab a piece, if not many pieces of what you're saying right now. I mean as friends now, they're going through it. It's like dang, like what you tell them to do, because a lot of them want to be like, oh, well, it's this and that because she did this and this and this. It's like, well, you still got children involved. Like you said, your daughter, like they can't go back, they don't remember it. So you're
Yeah.
gonna stay
Yeah.
on that square, you're gonna move forward.
And I
Wow.
think too, we've had that moment where we were able to apologize for the miscommunication that happened because we were operating from that little boy, that little girl.
Mm-hmm.
But that came with therapy. So, Mother's Day, or not even just Mother's Day, I get texts like, dude, like this literally I talk, dude, I appreciate you. Dude,
Uh-huh.
like that's like how we talk to each other. Like we dap it up.
Uh-huh.
Like we joke. And sometimes we'll be on a group text with because we have a group text. It's me, him, and my
Uh-huh.
daughter. And she'll be like, yeah, I'm in school.
Y'all carrying on. I'm in school.
Can y'all cut the we be like, oh my bad. Yeah, like because it's and that's the part like that, and that's the one thing I think that really helped us because we were friends.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Mm-hmm.
friends and we remained friends. We just didn't have a marriage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well, look, I gotta get you back on. I mean, I don't know. I guess if I had to say or ask you what I don't know if there's one tip, two tips. What would you tell a parent that's going through the divorce that ultimately you see they can get to that point, but maybe they don't know, how I should approach it. Like, what are two things? Like, okay, you're early in and emotions are flying, but what would you tell them? Like, hey, if you do these 2 or 3 things, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 things, or what would you just advise them to do that they can get to that point where they're having these group texts and they, hey, my guy, bruh, all that, and kids are all enjoying because y'all are co-parenting. They're just not there yet.
I
What
mean,
would you tell them?
if they're already decided that this is what we're going to do is divorce, because
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would say, to be honest, if there's still life in the marriage, somebody has to be humble and say, maybe I want to fight.
Okay.
And that means fighting even in the face of someone pushing you away. Um, because that does say a lot of times we just want someone to show that they are really willing to inconvenience themselves, because a lot of times we throw the word divorce out because we're feeling like something is not being met internally. We're feeling abandoned, or we're feeling neglected, and so we go all the way here. So I think you have to first check the emotion you're having. Why do I feel like I have to go to the extreme to here? Now, you decide that you got to go here because this is what it is. That's your decision. Understand that you have to own that divorce that you're about to do, and understand you're going to divorce over and over and over again until you get to that place. Like, it does not happen just the one time. You divorce multiple times. And then in the same breath, you still feel married, even after a divorce. I'm sorry. That's a stink bug. Oh my gosh. That was a stink. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a stink bug in here. And I don't know if you see it, but I heard it. It was like a baby bat. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I would somebody gonna laugh at me. I know that. Hey, but I say, guess what I tell you? I'm a real model, not your role model. And that was a whole big
that was a whole thing.
That was a whole situation. But yeah, and so like I would definitely say that and once you decided that this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna part. Start working individually on yourself before you give yourself some time to say, maybe I need to talk to somebody, and not just a divorce lawyer, because they are here to make the money. They don't really care about all that stuff. They know you came to them for a process to happen. You need to say, let me talk to a life coach, let me talk to a therapist, and find out, why am I feeling this way? Because feelings don't last but 30 seconds. I don't know if you ever thought about that. Feelings, you can't stay angry for eight minutes. You can't. It's like waves. You go up and they come back down, and you're cool, then you go back up. It's not even a whole song you can stay angry. You're just up. You either have resentment, anger. There's not one emotion that you're going to stay at for that long time. So if you just back away from it, I know. Bring me back down.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Because I should have said it earlier. I will drop the link to your book, because I feel like for what you just shared, for that person, and I sometimes say, if it's just one person to get something from the conversation that you and I are having, then this conversation is about, from my perspective, and why I do this, because of what you're sharing. Because that person, to get access to your book, to what you're saying, I mean, the length of the anger, the multiple times of a divorce actually happened. Because in my mind, like you're saying things, I'm like, dang, that's what happened. I didn't realize it going through, like, damn, I'm feeling this again and again, and then the next month and again, and like, now we gotta go back over it again. I thought we agreed on that. Now we do this again. So I will have you back on. I will drop the link to your book.
You can drop the link, just so everyone knows that it's definitely a co-author book with 29 other authors, and it's Live, Love, and Prosper, because we all live through something, love through something, and prosper through something. And there will be a book off of this book. But in the meantime, definitely people can hit me up for, if they just want a consultation. I do, a lot of people are, I actually counsel people that don't live in the States. But definitely I can send you my email to reach
whatever form contact you have. If you on IG, I don't say TikTok, probably not on that, but whatever you have, I will link it. I will link it.
Okay.
I also I wanted to say, although this was not the episode that this was about, you and I also have recently experienced some things in life with our families,
Mm.
and you being there. I wanted to publicly thank you for being there for my family and my mother's passing, and I know you've shared with me. I think that would be good for another conversation,
Oh
and
yeah,
we didn't
I
even talk about it
definitely.
tonight, but I just kinda just wanna put that out there that I think that's something that you and I, it might possibly be m my sisters, possibly too. I think just us talking. So again, I know we didn't go that tonight, but I just wanted to say that that's something that I also would very much love to have you back on and talk about. But I just want to thank you again because you have been much part, if not always, in the family. Like you've done a lot, and I just thank you for that. I'm
I
getting emotional
appreciate
now
it.
talking about it. So,
I know.
um, yeah, it's still fresh. So, Shira, I'm not big on the goodbyes. I will just say thank you so much. I appreciate you and all that you've done and the things you shared. I know I personally took away some things from what you just said. And that means a lot to me. So I don't know if you think you want to say for you say goodbye. And I just open it up to you, then I'm gonna wrap it up from there.
Not much, but I look forward to meeting again, and I thank you for
Mhm.
the time and the opportunity for sharing something that I think is foreign to a lot of people, but it's possible.
I got that. I got that. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Netfield Experience. If you got anything out of today's episode, please be sure to subscribe and like. Feel free to drop. I said drop, drop something in the comment. Shower dropped a lot of nuggets tonight. So again, I appreciate you, and I'll stay in touch with you. Thanks, you guys. Thank you so much.
All right,
All right,
thank
you
you.
have a good night. All right.